Hugh Colton, Town and Country TV, staying in touch with the communities that we call home and the wonderful things that happen within them. Well, we have an organization in this area called the Lanark County Grannies. I have a very special guest in the Jeep with me this afternoon. The Grandmother to Grandmother campaign is something very special, and if you have not heard about it, Pat Coughlin is the chair of the Lanark County Grannies, a wonderful organization. Thank you, and welcome back into the Jeep, first of all.
Thanks.
You know, the Stephen Lewis Foundation, the Grandmother to Grandmother campaign, have been doing some wonderful things, I believe, for the past 10 years. It's a big anniversary this year for the Grandmother to Grandmother campaign. For somebody that does not know what this is all about, let's tell them what the Grandmother to Grandmother campaign really does.
Sure. It's a program that was kicked off in 2006 with the Stephen Lewis Foundation. Stephen Lewis was very involved in the AIDS crisis in Africa. He came home to Canada, started a foundation, and it was quickly apparent to him that it was the grandmothers in Africa that had been left to raise the next generation. An entire generation was lost to AIDS, and it was the grandmothers left to care for their orphan grandchildren, often with no means of support for themselves. So these women were left needing so much support, and he came home, approached some Canadian grandmothers who took the cause on with great enthusiasm, and yes, we need to do this. And it's now grown to over 10,000 grandmothers across Canada that are working toward helping these African grandmothers.
You know, you think about this, it's now coast to coast.
Yes.
And it started with a trip to Africa and Stephen Lewis coming back home to start with maybe 5, 6, 10 grandmothers. It's grown to 10,000 grandmothers. And the importance of that, I mean, this isn't something that we just sit here in the Jeep and talk about. Grandmothers actually going to Africa, helping. And that's what you saw. I mean, you saw grandmothers looking after orphan children in Africa. And now you play such an amazing role. The other thing that's happened is when you mention coast to coast, that's a pretty big area across this country called Canada. And we look at in around our area of Eastern Ontario, the organizations that have been formed, including the Lanark County Grannies.
That's right. We started in 2006. Sharon Swanson was one of the original grandmothers that went to Toronto to the first get-together, the first granny get-together. Came home, met with some friends, and 10 years later we still have about 20 members. In the Eastern Ontario region, we have, I think it's 23 groups, just in the Eastern Ontario region alone, and all doing terrific work, and still having their bake sales and golf tournaments and pasta nights and whatever we can think of to raise funds.
Riding bikes for 3 days into a weekend, a cycling
grannies,
marathon.
yes,
I mean,
right.
You know, I've met your cycling grannies.
Yeah.
I've met the baking grannies. I feel like I'm close to this organization of all these different you know, members and agencies throughout Eastern Ontario and into the city and into Quebec.
Yes,
I've had the opportunity over the last year to meet some very wonderful grandmothers that are, you know, very much passionate about this campaign, and they really believe in it and continue to do so. And in order to do that, you have to fundraise.
Absolutely.
So the Lanark County Grannies last year developed a great golf tournament. It's
Yeah.
at Blue Heron Golf Club just outside the village of Lanark. Great little 9-hole golf course. And you ran a golf tournament last year that was a huge success.
Big success.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was our first attempt, and we were all pleasantly surprised how much fun it was, and everyone had a great time. So we're trying it again this year.
So again, on Wednesday, the 22nd of June, you are going to run the second annual Lanark County Grannies fundraising golf tournament at Blue Heron Golf Club. And I think you're doing very well with teams registering to come out and play in the golf tournament. But this would also, I think, Pat, be an opportunity for somebody to maybe drop into Blue Heron that day, meet the grandmothers, find out more about the Grandmother to Grandmother campaign and what you actually do, and also donate that day.
Absolutely. We're always looking to meet new people and talk about our cause and the work that the Stephen Lewis Foundation does. I think we have space for one more team. We're able to have a few more golfers this year because it was such a good success last year. We've got some tremendous prizes that local businesses and people have donated, and people like Town and Country who are sponsoring us, we can't thank them enough.
Thank you.
Yeah, businesses have really stepped up and helped us out.
And isn't that community? I mean, every
Absolutely.
time community comes to the plate, they step up and come to the plate time and time again.
They're asked for so many things,
Every day.
and they always come through for us, and we can't thank them enough.
You know, when we look at this program and we look at the benefits, what this program has done, you know, leading into maybe the next generation, it's very important. This is very important work.
Absolutely, and now that it's 10 years on, it's evolving as well. So the grandmothers that have found support with some of our projects, and that's the great thing about the Stephen Lewis Foundation. All the projects are community-based. They're small grassroots projects in each community. And as you go in and you ask them what they need, we don't tell them what they need. They tell us what they need. So it might start with a food program, and then it grows to a school program, and then it can grow to how do I make go into business for myself so I can make an income to help support my grandchildren, and grief counseling and medical services. I mean, the list is endless, and whatever the need is what these organizations try to provide. So
many different elements for being able to help. You're right. And that's why this golf tournament is very, very important. And that's why the Grandmother to Grandmother campaign is so very important, because if you don't know about it, you need to find out more. Now, one of the things that we're talking about is a celebration of a 10th anniversary of Grandmother to Grandmother, and you've got some special fundraising that are going to happen around that 10th anniversary.
That's right. There's 2016 is our 10th anniversary. We're recognizing that year from March of this year to March of next year. And there's a 10 for 10 initiative that I encourage people to have a look at. You can go to the Grandmothers Campaign website, and it's simply $10 for 10 months to recognize 10 years of commitment that the Canadian grandmothers have given to this effort, as well as helping those African grandmothers who are still bravely fighting the challenges that they have to face each and every day.
Yeah, each and every day.
Yeah.
You know, it's a wonderful program. 10 for 10. It's
10 for 10.
$100. It's
And
$10
actually,
a month.
We have a pin, and I brought one for you, Hugh.
Well, thank you.
There you go.
Thank you.
For
So
a
that's a
lapel
pin that that's my lapel pin that I'll be able to wear, and hopefully we'll get it right up here where everybody can see it in solidarity. 10 for 10.
10 for 10.
And we'll make sure that we wear that and wear that proud. Please say hello to all the grandmothers that I had the opportunity to meet last year, and I'm sure we're going to be able to spend more time with them again.
Some of our cycling grannies support our golf tournament. They're golfers as well, so they'll be coming out, and they'll be coming through Perth again in September.
Yes.
And we have a benefit performance with the Classic Theatre Festival in July, and we'll also be at the Stewart Park Festival, where we'll be talking about our 10 for 10. So,
lots of opportunity for people to get more aware of the Grandmother to Grandmother campaign and what it does with in conjunction with the Stephen Lewis Foundation, to meet the grandmothers and to donate and to give to this great cause. 10 years.
10 years.
Seems like yesterday was year one, and all of a sudden 10 years.
Right, here we are.
10 years of great work.
Yes, exactly.
For further information, you mentioned the website. If they go to the Grandmother to Grandmother website, they can find out a lot about this campaign.
If you just put it into Google and say Grandmothers Campaign, the website is actually grandmotherscampaign.org, or of course there's the Stephen Lewis Foundation website as well. So
thank you very much for doing what you do as a
you,
grandmother, and as the many grandmothers to the Lanark County Grannies, the Grandmother to Grandmothers. We look forward to a successful golf tournament Wednesday, June 22nd. Blue Heron, don't forget it, Blue Heron just outside the village of Lanark. And if you're not playing, drop in and donate to the Lanark County Grannies and the Grandmother to Grandmother campaign. We'll look forward to see it. We'll speak with you again as this year progresses.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
Pat Coughlin is with the Lanark County Grannies. Again, their fundraising golf tournament is Wednesday, June 22nd, Blue Heron, outside the village of Lanark. Hugh Colton, Town and Country TV. Hi everybody, Hugh Colton, Town and Country TV, with an invitation for you to hit that subscribe button to find out what's happening in and around the communities that we call home.